So, speaking about the Sagittarius full moon lunar eclipse that has just happened a few days ago, I'm just gonna say this first thing first. Let me tell you, this current astrology placement is very, very, very interesting, unique, powerful, and transformative. Let me tell you why I can say it's very transformative. So, I've been having like a lot of visions and dreams lately about what is truly going on in this world, because if you see the current state of this world right now, it is literally burning down. It is literally burning down. And the way I see it, you guys may see this world in a very destructive position where everything just burns down. But let me tell you, everything is going to be just fine. Everything is going to be okay, because remember, this is a very, very transformative phase of time. Everything that is happening is just as it's supposed to be. Let me explain to you why and how can I say that. So I must also remind you that this reading, I will be doing most of it intuitively from what I have perceived, from what I have downloaded personally from the universe. And of course, I'm going to use some tarot cards to read later as well. This is my golden tarot, my trustable deck of cards. And I have like this astrology dice as well. I just bought this online, which is very cute. I hope you can see it well. This is the celestial bodies with north and south node, of course. This is the sign. This is the houses. I hope you can see that clearly. Well, anyways, I'm not going to elaborate about my little trinkets. I am going to talk about the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius 2020 that just happened a few days ago on the 5th. Yeah, on the 5th. And it's actually a very destructive position, but the way that I perceive the meaning of this lunar eclipse, it's actually very simple. It's not as complex as it seems, and it's not as complex as it sounds. But the way that it presents itself to the world, it's very, very burning, because I must go through to all these celestial bodies that is taking place. Well, actually not all, but actually more like the sun and the moon, because when it was a lunar eclipse, the moon was opposite the sun. It was opposing the sun, with the moon in Sagittarius and the sun Gemini. And let me tell you, this is not just like any other full moon, because it is a lunar eclipse. And to explain it simply, a lunar eclipse happens when partially, or when the moon was reflecting the light of the sun, and it is foreshadowed by the earth. And let me tell you the meaning of this. The sun represents our identity, the moon represents our emotions, and as we all know, Mother Gaia represents feminine energy. That's why it's called Mother Nature. Mother, the giver of life, the one that gives birth to creatures, the one that gives birth to the breath of life. And if you see the astrological placement, it is very crucial. It is very, very crucial for us right now to reflect upon ourselves based on our emotions, because as I have said just before, the moon represents our emotions, and when it's a full moon, the moon reflects the light of the sun. So that means we can only sought the light of our identity when we reflect through our emotions. But it just doesn't stop just there. The way I perceive it, especially, they are both opposing, Moon in Sagittarius and Sun in Gemini. If you are wondering, but how? How do I reflect upon my identity through my emotions? Let me tell you how. Sagittarius, it represents religion, it represents beliefs, it represents transcendental knowledge, it represents expansion, luck, happiness, and joy. And the way that I see it, we can only reflect through our emotions to find our expansion and to reach transcendental understanding of our beliefs when we examine the identity of the Sun, which is in Gemini. And Gemini is all about communication of self and communication of others. We can only expand our mind, we can only expand our beliefs when we learn how to communicate to ourselves and to other people as well. And the communication, it's not limited to verbal communications. It's from every single aspect, because 2020 is a very intense year. That's why we must seek the truth from as many different sources and as many different perspectives as we can. And not only do we have to seek communication verbally, we must seek it emotionally, spiritually, on a physical level, on a spiritual level, from different depths of dimension, to ourselves, to another person, to nature, to animals. Communicate, commune yourself, open yourself to the possibilities of the universe. And if you open yourself to the universe, you will be bestowed by the universe knowledge on how you can expand yourself, on how you can grow and improve yourself and harness the current energy that is currently revolving around this world, you know. And let me tell you about the aspect of opposition as well. Opposition is it can be a positive aspect in astrology, but opposition is when two celestial bodies is opposite in 180-degree position. And opposition, the actual meaning of the aspect opposition is to really find the balance between both sides. And here we are talking about your ego, your identity, and your emotions, the way you connect your heart to other people. This is a really, really hard time, so therefore you must learn how to balance both sides, on how can you see yourself through the perspective of the sun, and how you can see yourself to the perspective of the moon. And I must also mention that the lunar eclipse itself, it holds a very special meaning, as I have mentioned before. A lunar eclipse happens when the moon is foreshadowed by the earth, and we all know that the earth is a very feminine, protecting, grounding energy. This energy that is revolving right now, it is very, very expanding. It's very mind opening, and it's very intense as a burning, blazing inferno. Why can I say that? Because the full moon was in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the archer of the zodiac, and the element of the zodiac is fire. It's a very fire blazing inferno of arrow, as if right now our identity is literally being pierced by the universe. So we can cut off all the energies that is not serving us anymore and expand our mind to the universe. Now this energy might be very intense, and if you question to the universe, how can I cope with this energy? You cope with this energy by being grounded to Mother Nature. Why can I say that? Because the lunar eclipse, the full moon, was foreshadowed by the earth, and the earth is very grounding and feminine, as if the earth is protecting the moon from all the inferno fire in the current astrological placement right now. The moon in Gemini, and the sun in Gemini and the moon in Sagittarius. Be in touch with your feminine energy, and when you get in touch with your feminine energy, let me tell you, it would be very, very beneficial for you. It would be very beneficial for your grounding, for your foundation on how can you establish yourself in this current situation. Now, I'm not going to talk gibberish for too long. I am going to ask the universe on how or what you must do, or maybe what happened with this current placement. So I'm just going to take one card, and well, of course, it's the Death card. As you can see, it's the Death card, and just even without reading this intuitively, we already know that the Death card, it is ruled by Scorpio. It represents transformation. As I have said before, the world is currently dying right now, and I can feel what the universe is trying to say to me right now is to let go of your old self, because I must mention to you that the earth, Mother Gaia, is a living celestial being. It has a consciousness, and Mother Gaia has decided to transcend herself beyond the third dimensional world to the fifth dimension, the dimension of oneness, the dimension of love, and it is very intense right now. How can I say the world is burning? Is because Mother Gaia, as Mother Gaia is transcending, she is choosing to let go of all the pain, of all the past hatred, all the past racism, all the past everything that is revolving around separation and hate. Mother Gaia is letting go of all that. That's why it's all resurfacing right now, so Mother Gaia can truly cleanse her energy. And if you're not aware of this, if Mother Gaia is choosing to ascend, but you choose to stay with your old self, it will be very damaging to you, because your soul will not reverberate with the same frequency as Mother Gaia, and it will clash. It will have a fluctuation of energy, because like if I'm giving an example of a radio station, the frequency is not the same anymore. You guys do not vibrate with the frequency of the higher transcendental Mother Gaia. So let me tell you now, what you must do is to embrace death of the old world, and embrace death of the old self, and truly embrace, open your heart, mind, body, and soul, and accept your truest self. Accept the new you that will be born into this world. And I'm also going to do a reading from Astrology Dices, and yeah, I'm going to do a reading with this, but I don't think you guys can see it if I put it on the ground, but I guess it's fine. So we got the 12th house, we got a Virgo, and we got we got North Node. So this is a very, very intense reading because we all know that North Node is our purpose in life. North Node is our challenge. What our soul must learn in this lifetime. And whoever is watching this, you must know that North Node in Virgo, I think it's all coming to me. North Node in Virgo in the 12th house. It's all coming to me. We all know that Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Virgo is very communicating. But I must also mention to you the archetype of Virgo. She is the Virgin. She is the pure embodiment of a true feminine energy. And what can we know about virgin? When we talk about virgins, they never experience the intense aspects of this world, because virgins, they still hold their inner untouched feminine energy. They have yet to share their energy to other people. They still hold their innocence. They still hold their sacred feminine energy. And North Node in Virgo, I can definitely feel that it is teaching us that our purpose in life is to regain that sense of virginity, you know. And like the sense of virginity, it's very metaphorical. It's very what's the word, wait, it's very philosophized, yes. And I can definitely tell that your purpose, whoever is watching this, is truly take a moment, just take a moment for yourself, because Virgo energy is very healing, you know, because Virgo is the communication of self. Because we all know that Virgo and Gemini, they are both ruled by Mercury, but Gemini, the way Gemini communicate is through other people. They measure their communication through other people. But Virgo, on the other hand, they measure their communication through the self, because the earth, Virgo is earth. The element of Virgo is earth, and we all know that earth is very grounding. Earth is a very strong foundation. So we can all say that the way Virgo communicates is when they have a strong foundation on who they truly are and what are they trying to communicate, you know. And especially in the 12th house, we all know that the 12th house rules your connection with the divine. And I can definitely say this is very obvious. We must be very grounded if we want to communicate to the divine, you know. And like, I think it's not only the way we connect to the divine, but we must also remind other people that, hey, take a moment for yourself, regain your inner feminine, regain your inner divinity. Take all your power back. Ask your spirit guides, ask your guardian angels for guidance. Take all your power back. Hence, you will learn, you will have the aptitude to help other people in a much more better mental, physical, and spiritual level. So I think that's all that I have gained from this reading. It is very intense, but trust me, it's all going to be okay as long as you want to let go of your old self, just like Mother Gaia, our earth, is currently letting go of the old consciousness grid. That's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I guess that's all.